let's start. Welcome everyone to the stream. This is P. Just a random afternoon stream for me. Let's wait for some more people to join before we go on. Let me just check the sound settings. Royalty free music. Okay, we're good. Textures. I didn't change anything. Oh, this one. It usually goes off. So yeah, we're just gonna go casual run of the deal and then chill out on a different game, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Just waiting for a few more viewers. First, you ever make your own music? No, I am not a music producer. I don't know how to do music. I know very well how to make missions, mods, that's my kind of stuff. I don't make music. I don't know how to make music. I know and enjoy how to edit music, like take ready tracks of music and put them together, or make a mix, like a shorter version of an already existing music, a loop action sequence, and then use them in one of my mods, of course. So yeah, okay, there's a good amount of people in the chat. So I'm gonna go normal. I'm not really into the realism, not really in the mood for a harder difficulty. I just want to chill. Yeah, not really. Should I? Yeah, I have to ask every time. Should I skip the cinematics and the cutscenes? Skip cutscenes. Let's see. Alright, let's see what you guys say. I'll let this one play, obviously, because you guys have just started watching. So yeah, I'm just, it's not gonna be a very long stream. I don't have, not really in the mood for a long stream or for a really grinding a hard difficulty or something. I don't know, I just want to chill back, relax, just hang out with you guys, just hang out and catch up with you. Like, I've been streaming like now and then, but it's nothing consistent. Just when I have the chance, just when I'm in the mood, it's a lot of things. Okay, the music is correct. We don't have to be careful of the bad copyright music, Anyway.
Good evening, gentlemen.
So yeah, to any new viewers, this is the deal. This is a Call of Duty 4 mission I have created. The deal is basically a mission, a very fictional mission. It's not meant to be realistic, just a disclaimer. So it's two MI6 agents, player and the one on the right. We are assigned to stalk a deal that is a mysterious meeting or deal that is about to happen in the opposite hotel from this hotel. This is a direct inspiration and reference from the very old PlayStation 1 game Siphon Filter 3. The first level has a very similar concept. Also, this guy, the first guy who came out of the lift, just keep him in mind.
Well, that was interesting.
So yeah, as I was saying, Siphon Filter 3, PlayStation 1, had a very similar mission where you had to stalk a meeting on the opposite hotel with a sniper rifle, which you're about to see. So yeah, the deal has many references and inspirations from many other games and movies and stuff like that, James Bond stuff, in Call of Duty. It's a Call of Duty 4 mod. There are many remastered assets. The body model of this character, for example, is from Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. The view hands are from Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, like 9 out of 10 weapons are from the remastered Modern Warfare. And yeah, this is, story-wise, there's not much complicated or deep story. It's just a big bad guy who wants to rule the world, like as cliche as it can get. So yeah, there you see, this is the Modern Warfare Remastered sniper rifle, R Remington 700, I think. Yeah, various furniture models from Modern Warfare 2, the original one. And yeah.
I see him.
So yeah, we're in position to do the meeting, just to stalk the enemy deal. We have Modern Warfare 3 guard models from the airplane mission, Modern Warfare 2 Makarov body models. And now this is the bad guy who is bringing... I will talk over dialogue, by the way. Apologies for that. You will have to watch the walkthrough if you want to listen to it. So yeah, these guys are basically meeting. Those two guys on the suits are governors of two countries. And this one is a big bad general who wants to rule the world. Yeah, it's just cliche. It's not supposed to be new. So they are having an arrangement for this general, this bad guy, to establish his forces on their lands secretly under everyone's noses, so he can have a leverage when he eventually starts the war, and he's gonna have nuclear silo there. Of course, it's fictional. Like, this is supposed to be London also. This doesn't look like London at all. It's a fictional representation of London, and it's not meant to be realistic or representing the actual place. It's just a mix of references and inspirations from various pop culture media combined into this big, like, Modern Warfare 1 mod. So yeah, enemy snipers have seen us, and we're starting to open, like, we're starting to fight them one by one. Basically, whoops. Basically just a sniper shootout between the buildings during an urban, like, in an urban environment with civilians supposedly being around us. Yeah, you know. And yeah, so basically the enemy snipers saw us, and the bad guys are done with the deal. They may have like a... They may seem to be fighting, but their deal is supposed to be sealed. Or something. So yeah, our objective now is to escape the hotel. We tried to collect information about this deal. We kind of failed, but it doesn't matter. We just have to get out of here. Our objective now is to get out of here. So Agent 99 and ourselves, which is Agent 61, now we're going to get out. And there are civilians, just like Modern Warfare 2, and there are enemies shooting through civilians, trying to take us out. So yeah, the interesting thing with this mod is, first of all, you can see the remastered weapons. This is Call of Duty 4 again, if you don't know. This is the Call of Duty 4 from 2007, and those remastered models make the game look much better. I mean, of course, some of the textures are not that HD. Like, there are many, like, there's a mix of old quality models and new quality models and textures. You can see, like, some bullet impacts are different, some are old, some are new. Like, there's a mix of assets from all over the Call of Duty genre. So yeah, now we have to get out of here. Basically, Agent 99 will instruct us to somewhat hijack a lift. We'll have to hijack the lift and get the F out, basically. Okay, so this is like a really funny little scene I came up with. Like, you're supposed to like have this moment of, you know, opening these things, like an animation. Like, animation is one of the aspects of modding that I am really struggling with, because I don't have the time to really learn it better than I already know it, because there's so many other things in the way. So yeah, this was a very lousy attempt for me to make an animation, but it kind of works, so I kind of kept it. It's not supposed to be a professional kind of work, but I just do the best I can. So yeah, here we have the lift sequence. You just have to figure out that you have to jump to the other lift, otherwise you will be crashed from the ceiling in this huge lift shaft, which like designing this was like a long time inspiration of mine. Like, I wanted to do this like a lift shaft scene for a long time. Yeah, we see the bodies flying off the thing. It's a physics thing, because the elevator is dynamic. The ragdoll bodies won't collide with it. It's just the engine itself. I can't change it that much. Like, I don't have that much control of it, you know. So yeah, we got one of the lifts, and then Agent 99 says we have to escape from the roof, because they will be expecting us on the bottom, because both of the hotels are supposed to be filled with enemy forces, so we're kind of trapped. But then as we go to the top floor, we meet 3 SAS agents, like SAS operators or whatever, And we have like this little chat. They basically tell us to help them because while we want to get out, they want to sabotage the enemies, and this is benefiting us. And there's a jammer, there's like a radio jammer in the building, and the SAS tell us to basically go and disable the jammer, because this will benefit them and will benefit us, because we also need radio. So Agent 99 agrees to help them instead of escaping, and we're gonna go to get the what's the name, the jammer, disable the jammer and bring back radios, but we have to disable it instead of destroying it, because fictional because of fictional reasons, it's gonna shut off power to the whole building if destroyed or wrongly disabled, like for fictional reasons, just because I needed this to happen for this mission to be the way it is. Like, it's not like the Citizen Kane of writing, and it doesn't have to be, but yeah, I just had a reason. I just had to give the agents a reason to stay in the hotel and fight the enemies instead of just wanting to get out. So we have a new kind of item here. If I press 4, we open the Call of Duty World War II map item, and we have this rough map of the floor, which shows us all of the rooms, and they're all highlighted as red, which means they're unexplored. Once we explore one of them, it's gonna turn green. But here's the thing, this system, when I scripted this, every room has a random chance to spawn either enemies or civilians in it, which means that if I open the door now, because it's a random system, I don't know if it's gonna be a civilian or enemies in it. There's of course a threshold for the civilians, you can't have infinite civilians spawning, but let's see what's gonna be. So it's enemies. So once you clear out the enemies, the room turns green on the map, so you know that you've cleared it, because you had to know which rooms you cleared and which you didn't. Let's see this room. This room also had enemies, 2 of them this time. There's a random 2 and 3 number for the enemies to spawn, and this one also had enemies. No civilians spawned yet. Don't worry about Agent 99 blocking you through the doors. Many people complain, but it's unavoidable, and the good thing is that I allow you to push the AI, so you don't have you just have to push the AI. You're not blocked. You're basically blocking the AI. You just have to push it through. This one had civilians. You see, once you see the civilians, it immediately, once you spawn the civilian, once you open the door with the civilians inside, I mean, it will immediately be green because it's already cleared since it has civilians inside. Also, talking about civilians, you have no penalty for killing them in this mod. I mean, yeah, it's not encouraged to do it, but you have no penalty for killing civilians. This is because I tried my best to make this mod as less annoying as possible when it comes to gameplay. So you know that you accidentally wanted to shoot an enemy and a civilian got in the way. I mean, that's not okay, but you're not gonna be penalized for it, because I want this mod to be as less frustrating as possible. Like, you know, you have some mission failed things when you go the wrong way and stuff like that in original Call of Duty maps or in my older mods. If you remember Rooftops 1, there was a sequence that was so hard-coded that it was so annoying. You would have to like you have to go that way, you went like just a few meters the wrong way, and you had a mission fail thing. It was so frustrating. So I scrapped all that. So instead of mission fail things, this time we're gonna have just invisible walls, because it's much less frustrating to bump into an invisible wall than to actually have a mission fail and restart from checkpoint, especially if you're playing on very hard difficulties. Like, yeah, so you see most of them are now civilian. Again, they're random. They're like 8 chances, 8 rooms for them to be civilian version instead of enemy version. Yeah, you know what I mean. So yeah, we cleared this floor. Everything is green. But then you hear this from the lifts. So yeah, for fictional reasons again, the lifts have broken, and and they're stuck like that. You can freely explore the lift shafts, and now you have access to the 2 lower floors, as well as this one which we cleared. So we can either, like Agent and I just said, that we can either use the stairs or the lift shafts to travel between floors. So yeah, I can either use the stairs, and you know, if I try to go out to a floor that I shouldn't, that it's out of map basically, instead of mission fail, we have an invisible wall, like I explained just right now. So we have this is the lower floor you can go in this sequence. You have this, floor 10, floor 11, and then floor 12, which is the first floor we cleared, by the way, just to orientate you. My brother brainstormed about the room breaching protection. Okay, so floor 12, 10, and 11 are the ones we are supposed to be looking for. So, right now I have to just clear. Okay, the map is unavailable during the stairs, by the way. I have to go inside the floor for various reasons. I had to do it this way. So you see on the top we are on floor 11 and we have to clear all of the rooms. I can just spam the rooms. However, yeah, you see some of them are civilians, some of them are enemies. We'll clear them later. Now, here's the thing. Because there's an AI limit, the more I open doors, the more AI spawn, either enemies or civilians. Of course, the civilians eventually get deleted once they reach their end goal, but enemies will remain in their rooms, and this is going to eventually reach the AI limit, which means that I had a countermeasure, and I actually have a countermeasure for this. So if the AI count is like close to the limit, you won't be able to open the door unless you clear out some enemies to give some space to the limit, like just give some more numbers, lower the enemy numbers, the AI numbers, so it can actually spawn the enemies. Okay, this is the top floor, we don't have to be here. Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one I rushed. I have to go to the lower one. The jammer spawn, we're looking for the jammer, right? Our objective now is to look for the jammer. Basically, what you have to do is to open doors. You don't necessarily have to clear the rooms, although it is encouraged to do so, because later on enemies are going to rush your position. Now, here's the thing. The jammer spawn is random, but it only spawns after you clear 24, after you open 24 rooms, because there are 3 floors, each of them has 12 rooms. In total there are 36 rooms. Once you open 24 doors, the jammer will randomly spawn in the last 12 unopened room doors, like in these rooms. I hope it makes sense. So the jammer has spawned somewhere in the last 12 rooms in this floor, and I have to randomly open doors and find it. Funny enough, it's here. So yeah, luckily I found it. So yeah, it would either be in one of the rest of the rooms in this floor, because I already opened the 24 in the floors above. Hope it makes sense. I know it sounds confusing, but if you put it together, like, it makes sense. 36 rooms. Once you open the 24 doors, then it spawns in one of the remaining 12. So yeah, you see now, since I didn't clear the rooms in the above floors, enemies just rushed from their rooms and were coming here, so it's more difficult if you don't clear the rooms. So that's why I encourage you to clear the rooms. You don't have to, like, if it's a speed run, you just cheese out of it. Like, just do what I just did. It was a lucky corridor stack up, like the enemies just lined up and you just destroyed them easily. So yeah. Now there's another thing here. The wait times. Also, that was a spawn of the enemy. Just spawned in front of me. It can happen because the random spawns of the scrambler were very tricky, and I couldn't make a countermeasure for the AI spawning in the corridor. You can't directly see it, but you can feel it's happening. Okay, let's hope I won't die here. We need to work this round. Listen here, we have the wait time. That's what I wanted to talk about. You see the disabling jammer text on the top. So this is basically the time you have to defend this area. This system now is very interesting because, yeah, this is what I want to show. Enemies... Oh, that was unexpected. I didn't expect the enemy to be behind me. Okay, I'll be more careful this time. So, when the enemies go close to the room, that means... that pauses the progress bar. Which means that the progress bar... You have to kill the enemies for the progress bar to resume. So, it gives you some challenge and motive to just go on and take out enemies instead of going away and hiding. So yeah, the wait times for the progress bar... Okay, this is... Give me a moment. So the progress bar, the time for the progress bar, had some complaints from testers that it was too long. And I respected that. So each difficulty is gonna have having a different wait time. The easiest the difficulty, the shortest the wait time. The maximum wait time is around 2.5 minutes, somewhere along these lines. And right now I'm on normal, so it's like 1 minute or something, or 1.5 minutes. I'm not sure. But yeah, the easiest, the fastest, the hardest, the longest. And there's a defend the objective sequence later on in the next mission, that's the next level, which uses the same principle. The easiest the difficulty, the faster the time. But there you can actually see the numbers. Like you can see the numbers, but you can't see the actual time because there's a random integer, not integer, like that's the wrong word. Increment, that's the word I'm looking for. There's a random increment for the time to move on, but it is faster depending on difficulty. The easiest the difficulty, the faster. So yeah, we are almost done here. This mission, yeah, this is basically the last part of this mission. We have the agents, by the way. These agents are coming in to help us. Oh, by the way, I forgot to talk about the M16. I mean, there's not much to say about it. But yeah, it's just the Modern Warfare Remastered M16. Now the enemies are down, the scrambler is disabled. The agents, they're supposed to be the... These agents are basically hotel security staff. Just supposed to be that. They're just supposed to be like agents guarding the hotel, and they're fighting the enemies same as we are. So yeah, we cleared out the... We disabled the jammer without counting off power. Now we're trying to get out, like Agent 61 said, who is player, by the way. And the agents are suggesting that we use the middle lift, which is the staff lift. These are the guest lifts, or with, like the customer lift, let's say like that. I don't know how it's called in the hotel. So this is the staff lift, basically, which the staff uses to move stuff, I guess. Which is basically an extended version of the original. And then once we go out, this happens. Yeah, just a lift dropping thing, just to make things more suspenseful and, you know,
I think I'm fine.
Give more spectacle to the whole thing. So yeah, we're back in the lobby. This is the lobby where we started the mission, like over there. And I forgot to talk about the civilians walking around. I'll talk about it in the next level. So yeah, we see enemies fighting outside. They're fighting policemen, and we're more on that later. Just keep that in mind. So now we see the cinematic here, and this is supposed to be like a few minutes before the previous level. Like the timing is a little bit inconsistent, but these levels like take place almost at the same time. Like this is like 10 minutes before, like 5 minutes before the first level started. Like it doesn't matter. You'll figure out soon. So we are now the SAS guys that we met in the elevator in the previous level. We are with Corporal Andrew Victor, Sergeant Alex Drake, and we are Corporal Simon Victor. We are the twin brother of Andrew Victor. we are instructed to place. These are the elevator engines. Supposedly, this is probably not how they look like in real life, but yeah, this is supposed to be the machines that control the lifts, and this is supposed to be the one that controls the staff lift. So we basically place a C4 explosive in the lift on which we fell from in the previous level, just before. So you basically see how things start to tie up a little bit. Sergeant Alex Drake said that we do this just in case we need to cover our escape, we need a distraction, so this will blow up the lifts and just, you know, distract the enemies from catching us from escaping, just in case. That's the plan. So it's time to talk about this sequence. We are on the top of the hotel building that we had the previous level on, and we are instructed to rappel here. So I don't know if any of you played the Call of Duty Ghosts Federation Day level or the Modern Warfare 2022 countdown level. They both had a rappel window walk sequence, and that is exactly what I did here as well. This is basically inspired directly from Call of Duty Ghosts, not Modern Warfare 22, because Modern Warfare 22 wasn't out when this concept was conceived by me. I mean, it is a direct inspiration and reference to the original Call of Duty Ghosts Federation Day sequence. I even use those animations for the legs are directly from Call of Duty Ghosts, by the way. So yeah, there's that. The model is from Modern Warfare Remastered, the SAS model, and then you see traffic down below. You can also see traffic when you are in the lobby in the first machine, right in the beginning, but you can see that there is like people and cars, and there's like, it's alive, the city is alive basically, and you are doing this secret operation in that hotel in the middle of this busy road, like that. I thought it was like a very cool idea to have like this very busy street, and you're doing this top secret operation, taking out unauthorized armed enemies who are hostile to, I don't know, the safety of the public or something like that. I don't know. And we have the MK14. This is the only non-remastered weapon in the mod. This is the MK14 from Modern Warfare 3 with the hybrid side, and it actually works. It works. We were able to do it. I mean, I did it myself. It's not a team effort, but yeah, I had help from people to learn those stuff. It's not like others did this for me. I had help from other people to understand this stuff. And we have civilians in the rooms, and we have enemies as well, not just civilians. So you're supposed to traverse through these windows. They're not seeing you, of course. I mean, there's only one window where the enemy can see you. I'll show you that. And you have like the rope, even the rope as well. This was supposed to be right in front of you, but it was blocking your side, and I couldn't make it thinner because of engine stuff. It was breaking, the rope was breaking if I didn't thinner. It was a very hard system to implement that script, but eventually it's here, and I'm really satisfied with it. I'm really thankful I was able to just make this actually work. It was harder than you think. So yeah, there's the guy. This is the only guy who can see you outside the window. He has this lousy reaction. And again, same as before, you can kill civilians, you will not get penalized, but there's a trick. Like, yes, you can kill civilians, it's not encouraged, but you will not get the achievement if you do so. I have the achievements, of course, because, you know, I've played this mod tons of times because I made it. I had to test it and all that. But it's not encouraged, so if I kill now a civilian, of course nothing will happen. But if you don't have the achievement, you will not be able to get it. You'll have to replay all of the levels. Actually, the achievements are for individual levels, so yeah. So you will have to play the whole level without killing a civilian to get the achievement. That's the trick. So we have two enemies here, staring in that door, possibly eavesdropping. And inside the room, we see a woman looking in the mirror and a dress being hanged on this thing here. So yeah, there's supposed to be a story behind this. I don't know, you tell me. I'll leave it to your interpretation. I'm not gonna give any explanation for this. I'm just leaving it to players' interpretation. Like, what could this mean? Like, what could these two guys be doing outside this door, and inside the door being a woman in the mirror? I don't know. It's up to your I forgot the word. Interpretation. There we go. Okay. Just clearing out enemies. People got lost here. So there is a timer that checks every 5. If you like stay here in 5 minutes, which is more than the intended time, you can hold tab and it will show you the positions of the enemy. So yeah, I'm on the top now. This is the final. You can't go higher than that. You can also see the rope following you. Yeah, it's a very delicate. There we go. We passed the 5 minutes mark, and if I press hold tab here, you will see the enemies. There's none below me. That's only those 3 left. And yeah, there we go. Let's just clear them out and move on with the mission. Enough explaining. I talked about this sequence too much. So you see our ally, our ally NPCs anyway, coming down here. You can see the glitch with the rope. Yeah, this was the only way I could do it. So yeah, you can go through them. That's also not a mistake. There was no way I could fix this. Like, there's the system you walk doesn't recognize collision. The reason you can't go beyond the limits of the building is because of a scripted reason, not collision. It's not basically collision. It's a complicated system. It's complicated to explain. So yeah, you just have to shoot the window here, and we just go inside and infiltrate the hotel. We're like 10 floors above the agent, and just to give you a heads up, like this is the building where the deal happens in the previous level, and there's supposed to be snipers there. I didn't put snipers in this version of the level, but the moment the enemy snipers figure out the agents is supposed to be once we enter this one. So if I were to actually put more effort to it, I would have snipers here shooting the agents down below. But I didn't, because it just wasn't worth my time, for real. Like, stuff like that are not easy to do. Like, just have that much consistency between levels. So, we have infiltrated the hotel, and we are slowly, in a stealthy way, we are taking out the enemies. We have to reach the top floor, and there is a VIP room there, from which we have to extract files from the computer. Basically, a DSM mission like the Modern Warfare 2, the original one. Now, this is the floor before the top floor. The top floor is right above us. Sergeant here says that we have to clear this floor before moving up. Now, this is the stealth sequence of the level. You can either clear this floor by being quiet and taking out enemies only when your friend tells you to take them out, or you can just go guns blazing. You will get an achievement for doing it silently, and I will show you the silent way because it shows more of the game's script, of the mod's script. You have like a Macmillan style stealth part, like, just watch, you'll see what I mean. We have the classic take one, take out the other. Then we move down the hallway to circle around the other guys. There are 3 more guys here. We just wait for them. Just wait a bit. You notice the parachute and the ropes, by the way. Those weren't in the original model. I had to attach them. There's more enemies down the hall. There's Andrew. We're all together. They're not supposed to be seeing us. Now we just take them out quickly, and we are in the clear. We basically did the stealth route. There's like the stealth route and the action route, like I explained. So yeah, this is the top floor, like Andrew said. Alex, actually. I confused my own characters. This is the VIP room. We will breach from both sides. Now we hear an elevator coming up. Let's go check it out. And if you remember the previous level, we now have the agents from the different perspective, from the other perspective. Like, we are now the SAS guys talking to the agents. Like, you see how everything ties up. Like, I'm sure you can tell the sequencing. This is also skippable, and most of the long dialogues are skippable in this mod. Like, there are not many, but most of them are skippable. You can skip like the deal, this, both of these meeting, the agents meeting the SAS and stuff. I mean, that's more or less all of it. So yeah, we now see what the SAS guys did before and after this meeting. And I would just move on. We split up to take out the VIP room for both sides, because there's our objective. A classic breach and clear. We are using the Black Ops 1 animation here to breach the door. The enemies are surprised to see us. And then an enemy comes out from the bathroom. Of course, you're not seeing this, the door open, but yeah, it's just the wrong perspective. So yeah, this is the control room. This is supposed to be like a VIP room. Some big guy, like an executive, has this room, who is supposed to have key information that we as SAS need, and we infiltrated to the bad guy's hotel and this room, and we're about to just connect the DSM. Yes, this is using the DSM concept from Modern Warfare 2. I used the Modern Warfare 2 remastered model and animation for setting it up and putting it away. And now we have the text on the top showing like the DSM progress and stuff. And enemies are gonna come and try to stop us. I'll use this M16, another M16. You also have an ammo crate, just in case you run out of ammo. And as you saw on the top, once the enemies come inside the room, the progress is stopped. You can see files copied 30 something to 640, and again, like the previous level, it varies with difficulty, which means that if the difficulty is lower, then the files are like less and the time is faster. If the difficulty is higher, the files are much more and it takes more time for it to finish. Now, if I remember correctly, the number I have on the hardest difficulty, the agent, aka veteran, is 1012, like 1012 files to copy. So it takes like double time almost than the lowest time, which is 506, which is exactly the half of the max time, which is the files to copy on the easiest difficulty. So yeah, overall it's a pretty I wouldn't say boring. Calling my own mod boring is like, I wouldn't do that. It's what's the word? Like very monotonic? Is that the word? I don't know how to say. Like, it's a very repetitive. Let's go to that. Yeah, it's a very repetitive sequence. Like, you have 2 squads of enemies coming from the right side, then 2 squads from the left side, then they start coming from both ways, and you are stuck in a loop waiting until the upload is completed and having enemies coming from both sides. By the way, the bathroom is a perfect place to just hide in case you are extremely pinned down. And yeah, of course, enemies are gonna come inside. You will not fail the mission if too many enemies come inside. You will just have to wait forever, because they will never ever leave the room unless you kill them, or accidentally, not accidentally, but you know, some of our ally AI takes them out. So yeah, it's basically just to defend the objective again. Oh no, please don't don't get back from the checkpoint. We're doing fine progress. There are decent checkpoints. There's no... I try to be generous with it because I know how frustrating it is to restart from checkpoint while you waited so much time for this to work. Also, if you shoot it, it doesn't get destroyed or reset. Again, no mission, as less mission fails as we can. As less as we can to make the mod less frustrating. Of course, the repetitive sequences like these, defend the objective sequences, aren't helping. But I didn't have many choices because the layout of this hotel, the way it's designed, doesn't leave room for many like for complex and for a big variety of shootouts. Like you just have the same hallways over and over again. It's a hotel after all, so you either have to defend the objective or just clear out the hallways. That's all I could do. Later on we have some spectacles, like we had the window cleaning part with the rappel sequence. That's like the other big thing I could do. And after this sequence, since we completed the objective, we cleared out the enemies, we'll just pick up the DSM and it's time to exfiltrate. And if you remember in the beginning of the map, we blow up the C4, basically Alex does it. So right now the middle lift is just falling, if you remember correctly in the previous mission, and now we just jump out of the window with our parachute, and I'll just let you enjoy this. See the Easter egg with the gold there. Not gonna talk about it now. Yeah, you can see we're just falling. You can see our legs, we can see our parachute. Just some movie action, you know, Hollywood style stuff. There's enemy in every window. I know there's enemies in every window. And now we go 5 minutes before the jump out of window thing. And we see enemies flooding the streets. So what could possibly go wrong? And we see police officers. Again, this is supposed to be London. So we're playing as a police officer now.
Should we engage?
Not yet.
5 minutes before the previous
Getting
ending.
closer.
Hold up.
Stop! Drop your weapons!
Wilson!
Yeah, this is the Modern Warfare 2 favela driver death animation. I just tweaked it a little bit. So now we just fight the bad guys in the street, on the street. Like, we have civilians running away. Like, we're just a few police officers fighting these guys with the AKs and stuff.
Stay out of the sidewalk. There's not enough cover there.
You start with a pistol, but you end up picking up weapons later on. It's a pretty hardcore level on higher difficulties. It's a very nice level to try and exercise your skills on harder difficulties. It's very hard, but on easy it's just casual. Like, you just have a lot of enemies spawning. They are not infinite, but their spawn counts are pretty high. Yet with some patience you can just deplete them eventually. They're not too much, but they may seem like they're plenty. Like, if you just push through, like if you manage to find a way to take less damage and just go through, they will just stop spawning as long as you pass their spawn threshold. Like, there's a spawn limit for them. Like, they can't spawn. For example, the spawn is here for this group. If you get past some area, they will stop spawning because you will be behind their what's the name? Their spawn area. And that's almost for every group of enemies in this mission. It's a pretty long one. Not a long one. It's pretty long if you try to deplete every spawn on the hardest difficulty, because it is very hard. I played this on almost every difficulty there is in this mod, because I added an extra difficulty, which is extremely experimental, by the way. It is not recommended for everyone to play, because again, it is not recommended for everyone, just in case you misheard that, because it needs very high skill, very high perception of the game controls, of the game mechanics. Your movement has to be very precise, and yeah, it's very hard. It's basically realism difficulty, but way more. It's different. It's experimental. It's very experimental. I don't encourage people to play it because I don't want them to be frustrated trying it, although I bet some of them will. So yeah, this mission doesn't have many things happening. It's just street fighting and bad guys with guns on the street, and we just, as police officers, we just fight them back. That's all it is. So besides that, it's just a fun level. Just shoot through enemies, fight through this messy street, and that's all there is basically. And I think simplistic levels like that do have value because you have like long scripted models. I mean, scripted levels like the previous ones that have like those sequences and defense objectives, and then you have this chilled back, laid open, heavy gunfire mission, which is just gunfight up to the end. And our objective is just to clear out the enemies from the streets, and we end up outside the hotel where the two previous levels happened. And yeah, I'm just not paying very much attention here, to be honest. I'm just shooting anything I see without getting cover. So, I wanted to talk about something I forgot. Yeah, we're close to the end. We see, this is the building where the deal happens. This is the building with the agents and the SAS. The previous two levels, basically. We are almost right outside of them. And we see that the closer we get to the hotel, the more enemies there are. Which is why you can't basically go right outside the hotel while playing. So there's that. Let me... Okay, let's see. Yeah, this is the final sequence. When your player says this, this means you just have to hold this position for like 30 seconds. And you basically beat the level. So yeah, because you can't go there. Even if you can go there and take out some enemies, more will spawn and there's an invisible wall. Uh-oh. That was from behind. And there's an invisible wall preventing you from progressing to their spawn. So yeah, if you take out those enemies, more will spawn. And you won't be able to progress. So you just have to wait here for the sequence to end. And just... You can fight enemies if you want. So yeah, this is basically the end of the mod. Once control is taken away from me, you'll just know it's over. Yeah, this is the optimal location to just hide. Of course, there may be some enemies behind you, but this is like the preferred position you should stay. Let's hide before I... Okay. There we go. Basically, finish the mod now. You can see this transition outside the player, the camera is moving away, and then we're transitioning back inside, and we're again Agent 61. Back inside the hotel. And it shows you like exactly how the first level ended. If you remember, we were seeing gunfire and everything now ties together. The SAS who jumped outside the window to escape, they just fall on with their parachutes here on the bus, and we all just meet together. The 3 SAS agents, the 2 MI6 agents, and soon enough the police officer. All meeting together. While having all the enemies destroyed and taken out. There we go.
Are you special forces?
Relax, we're on your side. Did you hold them all off by yourself, officer?
This is basically an origin story. So these 6 guys are the main members, the top members of the Task Force 99 in the Rooftops campaigns. Rooftops campaigns is they're both like, there's Rooftops campaign, the first one and the second one. They're both longer single player missions, mods I made, which are basically the sequel of the deal, basically, but they're projects I made. They're one of the first projects I made. For example, Rooftops 1 was the first ever mod I started working on Call of Duty. And it's like a 4-level campaign. It's pretty rough because I released it back in 2016, and my skills back then were in no way close to what I know now. Like the deal, the quality of assets and scripting in the deal is astronomically different from the Rooftops 1 campaign. Rooftops 1, let me just show you Rooftops 1 really quick. Just really quick to show you the mod. Give me a moment. Give me a quick moment to just change the windows. Okay, there we go. You should be able to see now. So yeah, this is Rooftops 1, the first big mod I ever made in Call of Duty 4. So we see we have 4 levels. This is how everything started, by the way. There at the office, you're basically an SAS team called Task Force 99. The leader is basically Agent 99 from the deal, and the other guys, the rest of the group are like the 5 other guys you meet in the deal, like the end group we see meeting in the end. That's basically the main group of this SAS team. Then we go in Sicily to take out, like, there's some suspicious Russian activity. Let's just give it like that. Then there's fighting going on in this abandoned Italian base. And then we just get the F out. That's basically it. So, yeah, this is Rooftops 1. Just meet with your team, prepare for the operation, go to Sicily, investigate the enemies, and fight through the abandoned Italian town, which is full of enemy forces, and get the F out. That's basically Rooftops 1. And now there's Rooftops 2, which is the biggest, even bigger than the deal. The biggest mod I ever made. I'll show you Rooftops 2 right away. There we go. This is Rooftops 2. This is released on 2021. This is like 1.5 years. No, wait, it's 1 year old basically. It released on Christmas 2021. This is the sequel of the first Rooftops campaign. I just show you briefly in the main menu. Here we basically have the SAS team that we met in Rooftops 1 regrouping in their HQ and planning on how to destroy the enemies who they encountered in Italy in Rooftops 1. Because what they discovered is that these forces are basically an undercover bad guy operation of the evil general who is planning to rule the world, who we saw in the deal. So yeah, it's a cliche story, you know, the bad guy who wants to rule the world and the good guys who stop him the last moment. Yep, it's all that, but it's a formula that works. And I actually wanted to make a story like that because it's a great like formula for Call of Duty style gunfights and quote unquote stories. You can't say it's really a story, but I tried to like make a decent attempt on it. So yeah, here we have the good guys just trying to set up a plan to destroy the bad guy, and then they're starting their operations. They're just infiltrating them, getting on a train, and going to the main base of the bad guy, and you know, just trying to take him out. I'm not gonna play this now. If you're new here, of course, you can always go check this out. I have links in the description. My channel is full of videos of this mod and the other mods. So yeah, if you're new here, you can just check this out yourself, either on video or play it yourself with the downloads. Yeah, if you are not new here, if you've been here forever, you of course know everything about this mod and Rooftops 2. So yeah, I really wanted to show you guys this. Oh, it's a great way to end this, to go to the shooting range. Yes, I have a shooting range in the single player mod. So yeah, you have a good plethora of weapons in Rooftops 2. This is Rooftops 2 again. Like, this is the second Rooftops. So the deal came out after this. And the deal is a prequel of Rooftops 1. Which basically shows you how Task Force 99 like they all became a team, and Rooftops 1 happened, and then Rooftops 2. Yeah, it's like a Labs story, you know. So Rooftops 2, here we're on the shooting range. I'll just we have World War II and Cold War, supposedly Cold War weapons. Not a big deal. There's a secret World War II level in both Rooftops campaigns. And you have various World War II weapons. So that's why that's here. Let's just take the MP40 and the... I guess the... What's the name? Not the Sten? Thompson. Where's the Thompson? There we go. So we have MP40 from Black Ops 1 and World at War. They're basically the same model. And then we have the Tommy gun from Black Ops 2 Zombies. yeah, in a modern themed campaign. I mean, they're on the Easter egg level, which like takes place in World War II. That's why they're here. Let's take some modern weapons. ACR, of course, one of my favorites. And then let's take UMP, holographic. Yeah, you see the ACR from World War II. It has a darker skin. I prefer it like that. It's like a more stealthy, like blending, you know, not being too gray, showing its position and stuff like that. And you have the UMP from Modern Warfare 2 as well. Like, this is basically a Modern Warfare 2 mod. I would wish it was, but it's not. It's basically a Call of Duty 4 mod that brings so many custom assets, custom scripted sequences and shit. I don't know if you noticed, but the UI, I don't know if you can see the ammo counter and the other stuff. They're all upgraded, like they're changed to seem like Modern Warfare 2 as much as I could. Like this, for example, or this, the Claymore, the flashbangs. Call of Duty 4 was not like that. The HUD in Call of Duty 4 was nothing like that at all. So yeah, that's how I want to wrap this up. Again, it wasn't a long stream. It wasn't supposed to be a long stream. It was basically developer commentary on the deal, introducing you to the deal, and then like I said a few words about Rooftops 1 and 2. That's what this stream was basically. It's good to have stuff like that, so new people that potentially may find my channel and may be interested in this kind of stuff, like single player content in the older Call of Duty games, they must have a place to go, so they know what this thing is all about, what my deal is, you know, not the deal of the mod, not like what my deal as a modder is. So yeah, this is Rooftops 2, the biggest mod I ever made. The deal is basically using many Rooftops 2 core assets. The HUD in the deal is also just a straight copy paste from Rooftops 2. Rooftops 1 is very bare bones. It uses mostly Call of Duty 4 stuff. I didn't know how to change stuff back then. If I ever remaster, quote unquote, Rooftops 1, it will of course be using many Rooftops 2 assets to give a higher fidelity to the whole thing. So, with that said, thanks for watching, thanks for staying in the stream. I hope to any new members that this was a very informative stream. I hope to see you soon. May you all have a great day. Bye bye.